Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to our class. This is your computer teacher Sumit Sadana. In this video, we'll be discussing about our unit 2, that is data entry and keyboarding skills. So let me just navigate you to our index. So this is data entry and keyboarding skills, that is unit 2. So without wasting much time, I think we should start discussing the chapter. Right, I'm switching to the second chapter, data entry and keyboarding skills. Okay, so some introduction they've given to us. So before that, we should discuss our introduction first. So in order to enhance operational skills and the use of computers, knowledge of efficient and effective keyboarding skills and typing ergonomics has become inevitable today. I'm highlighting some of the points which are important, right? This is just for your reference, so that you could grab some important things and keep these things in mind, right, properly. So knowledge of efficient and effective keyboarding skills refers to basically your keyboarding skills, how much you are improving yourself in increasing the typing, right, increasing in the data entry. Basically the book name is data entry, right? Data entry operator, and the chapter name is data entry and keyboarding skills, which is basically very helpful for you all to have data entry operator jobs, right, side by side while studying, so that you could deal on with your expenses and all side by side without burdening your parents and all. That's why this book is published under the Digital India program. Knowledge of efficient and effective keyboarding skills and typing ergonomics has become inevitable today. That means unavoidable. Inevitable means unavoidable, right? Typing ergonomics, I know this is a new word for you. I don't think all of you are aware of this. Ergonomics basically is it has come from a Greek word ergo and nomos, right? Ergo means work and nomos mean the rules, right, the guidelines, the protocol. So ergonomics is basically typing working rules, how you are working, under which atmosphere, environment you all are working, right? For enhancing your keyboarding skills, it is very much important to have a very comfortable atmosphere, a comfortable posture of sitting in front of a system, how you'll be dealing with your hands, how you are dealing with your body gesture. Is it a comfortable one, or is it a smooth one, or should be the work should be done with very much ease. What I'm saying. Something is very much important. That something is your comfortable level, right, of how you're dealing with enhancing any of the skill. And we are talking about the keyboarding skills. Yes, you should be very much comfortable for this. So with consistent, sincere efforts and a controlled environment, we can master keyboarding skills and acquire high speed. That is what I am saying. You should have a sincere, controlled environment, sincere efforts. Your hard work is important here. Next is keying data into the computer quickly and accurately thus becomes easy. While doing making your efforts in a controlled environment, in a very comfortable environment, you are basically in an atmosphere where you can type very quickly into the systems, or you're giving input to the computer very quickly and accurately, because accuracy is the most important thing here in keyboarding skills, right? Because if you are typing very fast and the accuracy is not there, but that means it's not worth having that keyboarding skills with you. So keying data into computer quickly and accurately thus becomes more easier with your controlled environment. Next is, so there are some various methods of typewriting, right? And this will be studying about various types of keys. So in this chapter we'll be studying about different types of keys, how much, the categories of keys, typing ergonomics, how will we should type with the like how many or with which rule we should type, and the positioning of fingers on the keyboard according to touch method of typewriting. So that is, we have a rule of placing our hands on a keyboard so that we could type fast. I'll tell you right afterwards, because we have different topics in this chapter, so we'll be studying in detail. And the use of typing software for learning keyboarding skills, I'll be telling you the software too, like for which software you should go, right, for typewriting. Right, and I'll be adding that link also in my video description box so that you could download it for free, right? Next topic is keyboarding skills. Keyboard is the most common text-based input device. We all know that we have a number of devices, input devices and output devices, but keyboard is one of the most common text-based input device which is being used by every end user. Computer keyboards are similar to electronic typewriter keyboards with additional keys. So you might have seen in your keyboard you have different kind of keys, right? The escape key, the function keys, right? The numeric keys, alphanumeric keys, the special symbol keys. So a keyboard generally has more than 100 keys. This is the basic layout, right? 100 keys per keyboard, but it's not the same. You might be having your multimedia keyboard with you, that is the keys with 103 or 104 keys, right, in your keyboard is there. And depending on that, we have different layouts of a keyboard. It can be 100 keys. A keyboard can have 101 keys, 102, 103, 104, 107 also, right, depending upon the multimedia keys, and those multimedia keys got added to the keyboard, which is adding the numbers, right? So each key of a keyboard corresponds to a single symbol, right? Suppose you are pressing, you're keystroking a letter, so that means it is corresponding to a single symbol, that is A. Some symbols require pressing and holding several keys simultaneously or in sequence, like the shortcut keys, like Control A. If we are pressing simultaneously Control and A at the same time, we are pressing, it is giving some command to the computer so that it could select all the text or whatever is there in the form of data or information, it will be selected, right? Or several keys, Alt, Control, Delete is the common key command combination which is helping us to open the task manager, right? So that we could kill some task, or we could add some task according to a desire. Next is, it allows entering alphabets, digits and symbols into the computer. Yes, we have alphanumeric keys, we have special symbols also. For special symbols we have different keys, so that we could input there or display it there. Simultaneous key press can produce actions or computer commands, that we know that. So there is no search, there is no need to search the key while typing, and one has to move only the finger which is needed to strike a key. So this line is basically important for those those who don't know where the key is, right, the location of the key. Because if you are in a position to increase or improve your keyboarding skills, improving your typing speed, right, you should first learn each and every keys, where are the keys placed, right? Then only you will be able to write, or you will be able to type faster, right? Because if you'll be keep on looking on the keyboard, and after that, like, then you have a sight on a LED or a monitor, it will be a kind of confusion and a kind of headache will be there, because you keep on rotating your eyes on a keyboard, on a LED, on a keyboard, on a LED. It will definitely ache your head. So it is better to learn those keys and just do the practice, right, so that it could come with ease. So a touch typist knows the location on the keyboard through muscle memory. Yes, the touch typist is the one who used to type the letters. Those the typewriter typing person, or you can say the end user or the data operator, right, who should know the location of the keyboard keys through muscle memory. Basically these keys are being memorized in your muscle memory. And we in touch typing typically involves placing the 8 fingers in a horizontal row along the middle of the keyboard, the home row. The home row is basically the row, the middle one, A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, semicolon, then apostrophe, then enter. That is the home row, right, where we have to place our 8 fingers, 8 fingers only, but 2 thumbs are there. 2 thumbs used to place on the space bar, right, to give the space. So I'll be showing you a small video for the same, right, afterwards, how we can place our fingers on this home row, so that we could write very easily or type very easily. Touch typing can be done with 2 hands or by using a single hand also. Yes, see, there is, if you are a normal person who is not interested in any of the computer thing, they can have their own rules of writing or typewriting, right, on a keyboard. But if you want to make a career, or if you really are interested in learning things, if your aim is to gain knowledge and all in every field or in any kind of field, you should be handful enough with your working rules, that is your ergonomics. You must be very much efficient in implementing and executing your rules, right, for the same. Okay, so next is a touch typist starts by placing his or her fingers on the start position in the middle row and knows which finger to move and how much to move it for reaching for any required key. So basically I'll be telling you, you might have seen some 2 signs are there. The first key is F and the second is J. On these 2 keys we are having a small bump up right there, a small what do we say, a sign is there, right, we can easily feel with our fingers. So that is the starting position. For the left hand we are having a F key, for the right hand we are having the J key, right, where we used to place our index finger and continuingly with then your middle finger, right, then your another third finger and the small finger, the little finger, right. I'll be showing you that video too, where it is easily demonstrated the rules. So next is typing speed generally improves with practice. Yes, the typing speed can be increased gradually in speeds of 60 words per minute or higher can be achieved, right. So the rate of speed increase varies between individuals. Many websites and software products like Rapid Typing Tutor, this is the software which I'll be giving you through that link in the description box. You have to download it and just do the practice. It's very easy. The the options are given in a very simpler manner. Like if you wanna practice for the home keys, if you wanna practice for the alphanumeric keys, if you practice for the numpad or number keys, it is there, the options are there. Just select it and start practicing or start the exercise. It's simple and is basically free, right. There are many such software available which are free of cost and are customized to learn typical typing efficiently and effectively. So let's start our types of keys. I hope this much is understood. right? If you have any kind of query, you can ask, right? Next is types of keys. So we have a different kinds of keys there, right? Though there are several input devices, but vis-a-vis mouse, touch screen, character or voice recognition, etc., used for giving input to the computer. See, we have various input devices which are helpful in giving input to the computer, like mouse, touch screen, character or voice recognition. Like character or voice recognition, can you name any of the software? Can you name any of the device? Alexa is there, Siri is there, right? Google Assistant is there, right? And we have different smartphones, and that we have different recognition, voice recognition softwares used for giving input to the computer or to the smartphones. Yet the use of keyboard is the most common method adopted for input of data into a computer nowadays too, because keyboard is the most common input device. We used to use it, and we are using it, and will be using it. A computer keyboard contains the following types of keys. Yes, let's come with our first, that is alphanumeric keys. All of the alphabet A to Z and numbers 0 to 9, that is 10 digits, right? On a keyboard, you can easily locate it on your keyboard. Next is punctuation keys, punctuation marks, punctuation keys. We have comma, question mark, exclamatory sign, parenthesis, curly brackets, square bracket, semicolon, colon, plus, minus, is equals to. All these are punctuation keys which are being used by associating with some sort of shift key, right? Or it is working individually. Next is alt key. So alt is basically the alternate key, which is like the second control key, right? Because with the combination of alt key, right, we are able to access those additional menu bar, or we are able to access the shortcut commands, and we can give the commands to the computer. Next is our arrow keys. Yes, arrow keys, basically you can also say it as a joystick. I know joystick is that lever which is helpful in playing games and all, but this is the first joystick which was made in the keyboard, right? So this is the kind of joystick, but we are saying it as arrow keys, right? Which is basically used in conjunction with some shift or alt keys or the control keys, right? And there are, it is written there. Next is shift or alt keys, to move the cursor in in more than one position at a time. So suppose you want to move the cursor to somewhere, or you want to select something, we are using the shift keys, right? If you want to select some specific portion in your document in Excel or any of the document in your file, you can use the shift key, right? And next is backspace keys, is used to delete the character just to the left of the cursor, not to the right of the cursor. This is the difference between the back key and the delete key. You should know the difference. The backspace key is basically deleting the character just to the left of the cursor, right? That is the insertion point, and moves the cursor to that position. But the delete key deletes the character at the correct cursor position, but from the right side, right? And does not move the cursor, right? It does not moving the cursor here and there, just deleting the characters from right side, right? And caps lock key, which is a toggle key. Toggle key means switching on or off, right? Which when activated causes all alphabetic characters to be uppercase, that is to the capital letters, uppercase. Next is control key. The control key is used in conjunction with other keys so that you could have some key combination commands, right, to produce control characters, right? The meaning of each control character depends on which program is running. Delete key, I already told you with the comparison with backspace. Enter key or return key. See, if you are asking about is there any return key on a keyboard, Definitely, return key is also known as the enter key, right, and the vice versa. It is used to enter commands or to move the cursor to the beginning of the next line. It is helpful in giving a space, also a line space. If you keep on pressing enter, it will be giving you a one line space, right. Escape key is used to send special codes to the device that to exit from the programs and tasks. Yes, but though it is being used in every task, but somewhere on the ground it is not helpful to some softwares, to some files where this is not being used, escape key. But yes, to some extent the escape key is used to exit from that particular program or a task, right, or a thread. Next is function keys. Special keys labeled at the top of the keyboard, right. If you are having the multimedia, then at the top second row, right, the first row is the multimedia keys, second row is the function keys, following with escape button, escape key. F1 to F12, which the function keys from F1 to F12 are having different meanings, right, depending on which program is running. Let me tell you some of them. If you have just boot your Windows, right, if you are while booting, if you are pressing F1, you will be directly going to the setup. F2, then also you'll be going to the setup, right. If you are after booting, if the desktop screen has come, if you are pressing the F3, it will open the search option, right. If you are pressing the F4, no work is there on the desktop, but to the document, some of the documents like PDF reader, Voxel reader, and that MS Office also, Word documents, Excel document. If you are pressing F5 on desktop, it is considering as a refresh button. F6, F7 is basically used for spelling and grammar check. F8 is used to while booting, you can, for F8 you can open the safe mode, last known safe mode with command prompt or with networking. You can have F8 command. F9, F10, F11 is basically used to boot from different devices, depending upon different devices like laptops, computers, right, tiny USFF, that is ultra small form factor systems, which are very handy. And F12 is used for save as in MS Excel. It is asking for if you wanna save to some other location, it is asking if we are pressing the F12. Okay, so when a key is pressed, an electronic contact is formed. These electronic signals are thus transmitted to a microcontroller in a coded form to the computer, describing the character which corresponds to that key. That means the address of a particular key is stored in the computer, and if you are pressing or keystroking any other key from a keyboard, it is giving command through a microcontroller in a coded form to the computer, where the meaning is already stored. It's simple, right? So next is okay, in the modern GUI, that is graphical user interface based operating systems like Windows, right, this is GUI, but we have a CUI also, that is command user interface. Let me write it here so that you could it is CUI, that is command user interface, right. Some of them are Unix. Now it is Linux. Unix was basically coming solely in CUI mode, where you have to type commands, and this Linux is basically CUI and GUI, depending upon your requirement. You can use a CUI, you can use a GUI, right? Both typing commands, and like in Windows we are having all the options. in CUI we used to install each and every software with the command, but here in Windows operating system or in Mac we are not using it, we are just double clicking it and it is getting installed with some command that is next and finish, right? I hope you got this point. Next is wait a minute, okay, it's gone. Numeric keypad. Okay, on your keyboard, you on the right side, on the extreme right side of your keyboard, you are having numpad, right? That is called numeric keypad, right? It looks like this, and you have three LEDs there, that is numlock, caps lock and scroll lock, where it is basically used for enormous numeric data that is to be entered there, and we are using it because it's very difficult for us to use the number keys which is at the left side of the keyboard. Right side, that is becoming as a numpad or a kind of calculator, where this is numlock. If you have switched on the numlock, then only you are able to use these keys. If it is switched off, or if you see on your numlock the light is not coming, the LED is not igniting, then you are not able to access this. So for this you have to click on this numlock, then you will be able to access these keys. Here you are having different numeric keys from 0 to 9, right? And some operators are also here, like divide, that is slash, asterisk, multiplication, minus sign, subtraction, plus is for your addition. Next is home keys. Okay, I was telling you about the home keys here. Home keys, alphabets ASDF are home keys for the left hand, and semicolon LKJ for the right hand. See, and after that these four keys, let me highlight it, semicolon LKJ, these four keys are there. Can you see it? Let me zoom so that I could show it to you. See this is semicolon LKJ for right hand, right? And for left hand you are having FASDF, right? Sorry. Okay, I was telling you a small bump up here, a small sign is there on F and J key. Can you see this? This is a line. Yes, this basically is telling us that your index finger is rightly placed on a home row key. Okay, so the fingers are trained to make the correct movements to the other keys, and each finger returns immediately to its respective home key after it has depressed the corresponding key in any of the row, right? So next are the guide keys. Okay, I was telling F and J, these are basically the guiding keys, or the guide keys, which is containing a small raised tangible mark. The guide keys, let me highlight it first so that it is easy for you to tangible mark. Okay, small raised tangible mark with the help of which the touch typist can place the fingers correctly on the home keys. I told you that to rightly place on the home keys. Typing and deleting text. Okay, we know that for typing text and you should click on the letters on the keyboard. For deleting you should use backspace or the delete key, right? For typing numbers in a document you can just use it your numpad, right? Either you can use your numpad or you can use the number keys, the special keys which are placed on the left side of the keyboard. Typing capital letters. Okay, I think you might know how to make it uppercase. You wanna use the capital letters, you wanna write the capital letters in a document. You will be just, before writing you will switch on that caps lock, you press the caps lock button, then you will be able to type the capital letters, okay, which is placed at the left side, 1 2 3 4th row, that is the home row. Home row is the one, right? The first key in the home row is A, but before A we have a caps lock button, right? Next is typing symbols. So press and hold the key and then press the key with the required symbol typing symbols, I'm telling you the symbols. I told you we have a special symbols here, like the what do we say, a negation sign, right? The exclamatory or the rupee sign, at the rate, hashtag, right? That hashtag I'm saying because that is a hash key. With the hash key we are able to use or make a keyword to a hashtag, right? Then is the dollar sign, euro sign. To different keyboards we have a euro, the pound sign, the percentage, zor, the exponential sign is there, ampersand, that is and, asterisk, then parenthesis, then hyphen, underscore, plus, equals to, and Purna Viram, that word is there, right? In Hindi we can also make it with the typing symbols. Under the typing symbols, typing sentences. So to get space between typed words, press the space bar once and then type the next word. We know that basically this space bar is the so which is the biggest key on a keyboard, which is the larger key on a keyboard? That is the space bar. We all know that. Yeah, we are studying since I think at first class. So this space bar is basically helping us to give a space in between the words while writing, so that to make it more representable. Creating new lines and spaces between paragraphs. Okay, the enter or the return key is used to create new lines and spaces between paragraphs and all. Make sure the cursor is flashing from a new line. It is also used to authorize instructions, ask for computer to perform. Wherever is desired, wherever is required, you can just press the enter key, the line space will come, right? The next is guide for typing. So the cursor keys serve as a guide for typing, the cursor keys. So they can be used to move the position of the cursor. So what are the cursor keys? The joystick. I was telling the arrow keys are the cursor keys basically, which is helping us or the user to navigate between lines and navigate between the words or the characters by pressing the upward, downward, left and right key. Okay. Next is pointing devices. Now come the pointing device. What are the pointing devices? Basically, instead of typing directly, some items can be selected from the computer screen. Yes, without using a keyboard we can point out some things with the help of mouse too. The first pointing device is mouse basically. But what are the commands? What are those tasks which are used by the pointing devices? Like for example, you wanna take the printout, so you wanna close it. Okay, print, close, we can also do from keyboard because we have those combination keys with the shortcut commands. But just to explain, the pointing devices are also there. See, every coin has two sides, one and two, right? One or the other. So we should talk about the other two, that is pointing device. So this can be done using point and draw devices such as mouse. Not only to select, but drawing of line, curve and shapes is also possible. The main thing, that is, you cannot draw lines or the shapes with the help of keyboard. It is with the help of pointing devices, because it does not works on x-axis, y-axis. It works on all the axes, right? The pointing devices. But the keyboard and mouse, the keyboard is only working with x-axis, x dash, y dash or y-axis, right? So the cursor, the mouse is not working on that thing. It is working rotationally on a wheel. Okay, the first is the mouse, and I'll be telling you how to grab a mouse, right? Mouse is a pointing device used to point a particular place on the screen and select to perform one or more actions, right? It can be used to select menu commands, right? Resize windows, selecting actions from screen icons, etc. You can select it with the help of mouse. You can if you want to draw some special options, you can have let me tell you first the differentiation of a mouse. A mouse contains two buttons and a wheel, total of two buttons and a wheel. Left button, right button, or we are saying it as a left click or right click, right? but the name of the button is not left click or right click. This is the command which we used to give. Just do the left click or do the right click, right, or the double click. So main is left button and the right button, and then the middle they have a wheel that is known as the scrolling wheel or the scroll wheel, right, which is helping us to zoom in or zoom out with the combination of control commands, right, and which is helping us to scroll up or scroll down, right, and which is helping us if we are clicking on that wheel. And yes, of course we can click on that wheel. It's not that we can only rotate that wheel, we can also click on that wheel. Some special commands are also added in the mouse coding, right, and the microcontroller of the mouse, where some coding are done, and it is saved in the computer, but it's not same on all the computers. It's not saved on all the computers, right, but to some extent some special tasks if provided to the mouse, they can have this click access. Okay, so can you see how we are grabbing it? We are grabbing it with we'll be grabbing it with our right hand, right, and on the index finger will be placed at the left button here, right, and our lady finger will be placed at the right button, right, and it is this is basically for the lefties. This mouse is basically for the lefties because the left button is here. It must be here. You can see this figure. The index finger is coming here on the left, and the lady finger, the bigger finger, is coming on the right here. Okay, and the rest of the fingers to the side of this. Can you see this greenish portion? Yes. Rest of the two fingers, right, will be placed here, and the mouse left side, that is for the thumb side. Okay, so positioning of the fingers while holding the mouse. This how to hold the mouse, it's written here. Now the mouse pointer, you can see the mouse pointer. I am also making it the mouse pointer allows to point on the screen. The pointer changes as shown below. Okay, so this is basically the greenish, the right side one is the correct portion, the correct position, how you used to use this mouse without getting fatigue. Because if you will be positioning your hand here over the mouse, your hand will be not comfortable, right, you will feel tired very often, right. Incorrect, this is also incorrect, this is also incorrect, because you are not giving comfort to your wrist and to your hand and to the arm too. So these two this is the correct option, this is the correct positioning of the fingers on the mouse. And this is what I was talking about, the typing ergonomics, right. Now this is not a typing, this is normally ergonomic, right, where how a person used to have control on the devices in a comfortable manner. Next is mouse operations. So all mouse do not use the same mechanical operation that I was telling you, right, but all of them accomplish the same task, that is selection, that is pointing, that is a pointing device. Some of them use a trackball at the bottom, and some of them use a type of light beam to detect the motion of mouse. Okay, so there are many types of mouses, right, but let me tell you the main two. That is, nowadays we are using the optical mouse. Optical means we have a LED light beam kind of light at the bottom of the mouse, red color, right, that is the light beam which is helping the microcontroller of the mouse to control the the cursor, the position. But before the light beam mouse, before this these mouse came into existence, we were having the tracking ball mouse, right, because we were having a rubber kind of ball there at the bottom of the mouse, and wherever the ball rotates, the cursor used to move to that position on the screen. Okay, so if possible I'll be adding in here one okay, I'll add the photo of the tracking ball mouse too, right? Okay, let me highlight so that I could remember this. Next is the most conventional kind of mouse, has 2 or 3 buttons on its top. These buttons are used for different actions. I told you already, using left button of the mouse, different operations like selection, dragging, moving and pasting can be done. Okay, with the left button, if I am clicking once, that is I am left clicking once on any of the file or any of the folder or icon, it will just select it. If I will be double clicking it, it will open it or install it, right? Or it will be coming into accessing mode. Next, if you want to drag it, just keep on pressing that left click and drag. Now I am able to select it. Okay, so this is so simple. Next is moving. If you want to move something, okay, let me come to the hand tool, because this, okay, can you see that I am grabbing the page? Once I have clicked left click, right? Now I am dragging it. Can you see this? That means I have grabbed the page and I am dragging it with my left click button. Okay, next is moving and pasting can be done. You can select it, you can cut it and you can paste it to some different position, different location. With the right button we can open a context menu for an item if it is applicable. Okay, it's not applicable to all, right? But yeah, to some extent it is applicable, but no, not to all the items. Now I am right clicking here, so this is a contextual menu where I am having some of the options like add sticky note. If you want to add something here, select tool, hand tool, marquee tool, previous view, we have a shortcut here. Rotate clockwise, you are having a shortcut here too. Print and find and document properties. So the document properties, right? Security, font, custom, advanced. So these fonts are being used here, right? All these are I am having. That means it's installed in this system. Okay. Next is okay. Common mouse actions are as follows: click or left click. I told you, right? That is it is used to select an item. Double click to start a program, to open a file, or trigger an action. Trigger means to have access. Right click it used to display set of commands or contextual menus to you. Drag and drop, I told you, like allows you to select and move an item, from one place to another. Let me highlight it so that's easy to for you to memorize it. Okay, next is scroll with the help of scroll wheel, right? I am just scrolling upward and downward, that is forward and backward. Okay, it is so easy. You are using it in your daily life, right? Just blocking is another way of selecting text. It is used to select text that needs to be edited or formatted. Click at the beginning of the word or sentence and hold down the left button, then drag along the text and see it being highlighted in the black. In the black, not every time it is in the black. Here I am blocking it. It is in different color, right? In some sky blue, a darkish blackish sky blue color, right? So not every time it is black. Yes, it is black, but not every time. It depends upon application to application, right? Typing ergonomics. Okay, now comes the typing ergonomics. Okay, so typing ergonomics is basically a vast topic. So let us finish this much in this video, right? Till blocking we have done. I hope all of you are understanding it very well, right? If you have any kind of query, you can ask anytime, right? And in the next video we'll be starting with the typing ergonomics, right? Okay, so we are continuing with the next video. Okay, thank you.